It's Thursday night. You know what that means.
Will you look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember? I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means, and I don't usually get to say that, but thanks to Download Festival and Roadworks, Stacey might not be joining us till later on. But without any further ado, before I bring our guest on, which I'm excited to have him back, first off, it's that time to start the show for the joke of the week.
A cowboy walked into a German car showroom and shouted, "Howdy!"
If you happen to watch that back, or you're watching it on playback later on, just check out his cat's reaction to that joke. It just seems so nonplussed to it. But without any further ado, I'm going to welcome you to the Rocc Show. We've got Rocco Casella. How you doing?
Hey, Big Mike.
How's it going?
San Stacy. Yeah. I'm sorry that she can't make it, or hopefully she will do a walk-in by the end of the show.
Yeah, just walking later on. So
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'll do is, everyone who normally watches knows I do this. I usually do a highlight video of YouTube stuff, but what I've got, we talked about this when you came on the show before, and we can talk about it a little again. But when you did an entry video to be part of this, to be picked to an internet series for the travel channel. So I'm going to play that for everyone at home. It's about a couple of minutes long, and we can discuss.
With over 750 amusement parks in the United States vying for your entertainment dollar, today's economy dictates that you need to know what is the best fit for your budget. With hype, flashy commercials, and misleading public relations information in the business, now more than ever, you need a one-stop shop of what is the best value for your friends and family. That's where I come in. I'm Rocco Casella, and I'm a Thuzy. What's a Thuzy? Well, it means I'm a roller coaster and an amusement park enthusiast. I've ridden the fastest, steepest, most insane thrill rides in the country. We're going from the large corporate destination parks to the small community mom and pop parks. We'll visit some places you've no doubt seen before, but we'll also hit the off-the-beaten-track smaller parks that are pretty amazing and old school. If you want to see rides grow from concept to animated breakdown to the giants we see landscaping the Midway today, industry experts will take us behind the scenes and explain the hows and whys of the park and what they feel makes them unique to the industry. From a roller coaster that goes over a 4-lane highway to an alpine coaster that takes you down the Smoky Mountains, a family coaster that truly is for the entire family, and one-of-a-kind-in-the-world attractions that truly need to be seen to be believed. We'll explore all types of attractions, including the latest monster steel coasters that use the newest technology, to the new breed of non-traditional wood coasters that have just come over the horizon. Finally, we'll look at the enthusiasts themselves, their collections, and just what kind of a person becomes an enthusiast. We'll also talk to some celebrities about their favorite rides.
Rocco, don't put this online.
So help me be the next Travel Channel star and take the ride with me every week. You'll be along for the thrills, doing things that you've never dreamed of before. Brass ring.
So how long did it take to how many people were involved with that video when you had to make that entry?
Two. There was two people. We went and a lot of it was file footage that we already had, and then me actually on the carousel was filmed in like an hour.
Where was the carousel?
It's the Cass County Carousel. It's near Indiana Beach in Indiana. It's about 25 minutes from the park. So like in the middle of summer when it's hot and it's busy, we'll take a ride to the carousel, get a couple of rides. And you don't have any brass ring carousels in Europe.
What's the concept of?
Okay. Yeah, no, and it makes carousels a heck of a lot funner. A machine comes out and it has all these regular, like just metal rings. And then every time you go around, you're supposed to grab one. And then the last ring is a brass ring, and whoever gets the brass ring gets to have a free ride. So there's only 3 brass ring carousels left in the United States: Cass County, the one at Santa Cruz Boardwalk, and Knoebels.
So you're strapped to that when you're trying to reach out.
On that one they do have a seat belt. On the Knoebels one they do not, and I don't believe they do on the cruise one, Santa Cruz,
So
California.
have they had a lot of injuries?
You would think, but you know what they say? Well, they say that the insurance premiums for carousels is far more than any other ride in an amusement park because of a lot of kids falling off the horse, not just reaching for rings, but just screwing around in general. But that is the ride that incurs the most injuries per year at any park.
So, just saying hello to everyone. Park Poles from Cincinnati, Reds fan. I'm sure they're a Reds fan.
Yeah.
So I was speaking to you before you were going to come on the show again, and you were telling me about your I don't know how to word this. Your kind of rule you set yourself. You don't go back to a park unless there's 3 new creds there.
Yes, because I was going to the same parks every year and not branching out to other parks. So then what I started to do was go in different directions every year. Like one year I'd go east to all the, East Coast parks, Jersey, New York, around there. And then I would go to south to Texas, Branson, Silver Dollar City, like all those parks. And then I would go west to all the California parks. But then I started spending a lot of money going to the same parks just for one ride, really. And it's one of the main reasons I stopped doing media days because, well, one, I wasn't going with a big group of people for a media day. I was driving by myself. So I would drive 15 hours to go down to Virginia to ride a ride that was brand new. Like, I wouldn't say Twisted Timbers because that park was open the next day, but most of the time it's like the week before the park opens to the public, and that's the only ride going. And yeah, you can get a lifetime worth of rides in one day with no lines and everything, which is cool. But it's like I spent all that money and time, and switching around work days and stuff and having it work out to where I can go. But I'm only really going for one ride. I mean, yeah, I'm getting content, but I'm not really doing that anymore. So it's just become a rule for me that if the park's got 3 new credits, then I'll go back. Like Hershey, I need one more ride because I've ridden Laugh Track, but not Candemonium or the new Wildcat. So I'll wait till the next, till I get one more credit, and then I'll go back to the park. I don't have a lot of real life friends that are involved in the hobby. So it's basically me and my wife driving everywhere.
I was going to say, she does coast accounts as well, right? Coast credits.
She does credits. She just doesn't like the community as a whole, all the different clubs and stuff. They've always left a bad taste in her mouth. We're pretty much general public at this point. I am a member of one club, and that's just for the park events that you need to be a member of a club for. Other than that, I don't do any events or anything anymore. Because I mean, I'm experienced enough. I know what days to go on for no crowds and to ride. And a lot of the events are the exact same event over and over. They just had Hollywood Nights and Coaster Mania this past weekend. They're the same events every year. You go to one, you've gone to all of them. In fact, some of them have gone a little downhill since I've been going. I was told, sorry about that.
That's all right.
I was told, like at Coaster Mania, they're not giving out T-shirts anymore, which was one of the perks of going to the event was getting all the swag, the stuff we all get. And
Oh, you used to wear swag as well then? I didn't know if that was a British
yes,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, we use that as well. So then, like back in the day, they had beer mugs, and yeah, they were all custom made for Coaster Mania. It wasn't just a normal souvenir. They still do a pin. They don't do any lanyards anymore.
Do you collect pins?
I do have a collection of stuff. I don't collect T-shirts anymore. That was a big one for me. I used to collect coffee cups, but I don't use them fast enough to have the size collect. Most of them are wrapped in newspaper up in the attic at this point. I used to collect those souvenir like soda cups that have like
Yeah.
the new ride for that year or whatever on it. I used to collect those. Now I've got boxes of them just sitting up in the attic. The stuff that I mostly collect, roller coaster parts.
What's your
Yeah,
favorite?
go ahead.
What's your favorite thing in your collection? Because from what I know about your collection, I could say what my favorite thing that you've got in your collection is, but I've not seen the whole collection. But what's your
Okay.
favorite thing in your collection?
I have a coaster that's in plexiglass. Here, I'll show you right there. There's a coaster in plexiglass right there. There's stuff. My Von Roll gondola, I love that. I got a lot of wood items. I've got a Schwitzbachen, a big version in the garage that I'm working on. Let's see, Son of Beast track. Down here, coaster parts, pieces of track, wheels. I have these little static roller coaster cars that they sell. That one's signed by Bert. We use the yellow train for Travel Channel, so I bought one at the park while he was there filming and had him autograph it. I collect a lot of Godzilla stuff. Judge Dredd, you know who he is.
Yeah, I know Judge Dredd is there.
And Godzilla, Robotech, and Voltron are mostly the things I collect. There's stuff all over the room. And that's just this room. The basement has a bunch of stuff. The garage has a bunch of stuff in it, banners, and I've got an old freak show banner.
The favorite thing of yours that I've seen, and we don't need you to get it out or anything, but when you got the it was a special shirt, wasn't it, for if the Cubs won the World Series at Cedar Point?
Yeah.
The ride name.
It was versus I believe Great America, and I think the Indians were up for the World Series. So Cleveland's pretty close to Cedar Point. So a lot of parks do the Super Bowl or World Series challenge, and Six Flags Great America had made a bet with Cedar Point that whoever team won, the other park would dedicate one of their signature attractions, including theming and everything, to the other team. And the Cubs won, so Top Thrill Dragster became Top Thrill Cubster. And I was really impressed with the amount of signage and everything that was replaced for one day. It was just for opening day. So I was really surprised. And they sold merchandise for one day.
We had something similar to that, but not as big. They did change the sign on the ride. There's a roller coaster here called 13. It's very similar to the Bolton. It has a drop.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's in the forest, and the theming is. But don't ask me why, because it's still very vague to this day what the theme of the ride is. But it's called 13. And on Friday, the first Friday the 13th, it was ever open. They released a whole load of merch, but the logo said 14. And I thought they'd do it every Friday the 13th. They've never done it since. But like all the merch that was sold on that day, people were kind of trying to sell for a lot of money because obviously they just took it all off.
Yeah. No, and the same thing happened with the Cubster merchandise. Hats are going for, I think to this day, are going for $100. So I bought a couple of those, bought a couple of shirts. I bought stuff for other people while I was there also. I don't know if you know who Midway Mayhem is. His name's
It sounds
Dan.
familiar.
He's from Orlando. He's an Orlando blogger. I bought him a hat and a shirt. Yeah, it was a really fun day actually. Because my friend Marcus Lashock was out there filming a story for WGN News while I was out there. So I saw him out there and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he really enjoyed that day because he's more of a Cubs fan than I am. So I'm not much of a sports fan anymore. I'll watch football, our football, and
I think I'd watch it if I understood it, but I think that would take me too long to. I think if you grow up around a sport, you can catch it a lot quicker than.
yeah, yeah. So you're in a rugby scrum all the time, huh?
Me personally,
You don't play rugby?
no.
Too violent?
It's I don't know. It's just never. It's not. The other sports are popular, but obviously in this country and most of the world, football or soccer, as you call it, is everyone's
Yeah,
crazy for that.
yeah, yeah. You don't play cricket or
No,
anything?
I'm not a fan of cricket at all. It's just.
No, really?
But I wanted to go back quickly while we were
Sure.
talking about your 3 cred rule. There are quite a few people saying they're at the same park most weekends.
Yeah. I don't go to. I've really toned down my season pass going because I was spending so much. I'd go to Cedar Point, which is 5.5 hours away. I'd go to Cedar Point probably 10 times a year because it's mostly to hang out with people too, not just to go to the park, but to see people if I knew they were going that day. And
I suppose it's different for us because in this country, there's a company that owns. There's other big parks as well, but there's 4 main big theme parks that Merlin own. So you get the
yeah,
Merlin pass, you can go to all of them.
right. Oh well, you can buy a platinum pass for like Cedar Fair and then go to all the Cedar Fair
I
parks.
was going to say Six Flags the same, yeah.
Yeah, and Six Flags is the same. You know what? Dollywood and Silver Dollar City used to do that. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. They're both owned by Hirschland, but they have separate passes now.
Did you want to? You only told me about this before we went on air, actually. But did you want to go into a bit more detail about? Was it theme park secret shopper?
Amusement Park Secret Shopper. That was a project I started. It was a few years back. I have one episode actually posted on YouTube. I was trying to be like a secret critic type thing. I used the concept of, I don't know if you know who the unknown comic is in the United States. There was a show called The Gong Show in the 70s, and he was a comedian who was hiding himself, and he would wear a paper bag over his head with the eyes cut out. So I took that concept, I green screened the bag. I would wear a suit with a green screen tie and a green screen paper bag on my head. And then while I'm talking about attractions or whatever, they would be on my face while I was talking. And then I hid my voice. But the PR director for Dollywood told somebody, I think just in passing, and then that person just spread it all over that it was me as the person doing the unknown, the critic, and that it was worthless at that point because then if everybody knows it's me, what's the point of being a secret
It seems a bit of
shopper?
a shame. It seems like that had legs.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good concept, and it came out well. I was really proud of the first episode. Look up Amusement Park Secret Shopper on YouTube, and you'll be able to find the video. There's a couple of POVs, and then I think a teaser video that's like 30 seconds long that shows scenes from Dollywood and Adventureland. I never quite did the Dollywood episode because by the time I was getting ready to edit that episode, it had gotten out that it was me. So I didn't see much point in doing it at that point.
That seems really a big shame.
Yeah. I might bring it back and have somebody else do it. See, the whole thing here is, and I don't know how the European coaster clubs do it, but here there's usually a code of conduct for to be a club member. And one of the rules is usually not to talk negative about any park or attraction, because the clubs want to keep the perks and do the events and stuff like that. So if they have people there for media day, they don't want to, it wasn't that great of a ride. They don't want people saying that. So anybody will come up with anything to say. That's why I don't trust when people say things are awesome, because
Yeah, we've had that.
are they really awesome, or are you afraid to get kicked out of the American Coaster Enthusiasts? It's like,
Well, in this country, it's more people who are on the parks, media list to get invites to stuff. They're the ones that'll say it's amazing, and then you'll write it yourself and be like, "It's all right. It's not."
I've talked to people that have came up with anything to say other than it's not that great. People say it's a perfect addition to the park. Well, you're not saying it's good or bad. You're just saying it's a good addition.
Another one is it's an experience.
Yeah. It's not negative or positive, just an experience. So I did that to hide my identity so that I could give a truthful critique of the park. And it didn't really matter, because I mean, I usually like everything at a park. Even if I find something I don't like about a ride, I can word it to where, like the one roller coaster was Tornado was rough at Adventureland when I went there. So I merely just said, if you want a smoother ride in the middle seat, because there's 3 rows in each car. So instead of sitting on a wheel seat, sit on, where there's no wheel, and it's a lot more comfortable. I would say stuff like that, kind of give a positive spin to something that's negative. So, but they had just gotten the Monster that year, so that's where all their revenue went that year. But it's running better nowadays than it was when I did that review.
If you were traveling, I suppose you could say central as well. I was going to say east or west, but we can include. Which is the best area for you with the population of parks and things?
I would say Texas is, because I'm going to hit Missouri on the way, and that's Six Flags St. Louis, Worlds of Fun, Branson, and then 3 hours from Silver Dollar City, you got over Texas, and then you might as well drive down to Fiesta, Texas at that point, to San Antonio, and then you got all the Galveston parks, and Texas has a lot, and they're really good rides. Oh, look at that. There's a lot of wasted hours. That's what my wife says.
This is why I'm surprised she has she counts coasters, because she sounds like she's not really into the.
No, you are right. She likes to go for the day and just have a fun and not have an itinerary of tours and things like that to do. She likes to just go and do her own thing, and not have the pressure of it being a coaster event or anything like that. Plus, a lot of the people in the American community has really rubbed her the wrong way just by the way they treated me. So, it's hard for her to forgive. It's easier for me to forgive than it is for her, because she's the one that had to see the tears of me crying, and because nobody likes me and stuff like that. And now that I've kind of stepped away from trying to be media and stuff like that, it's been so much better. I mean, she would rather me give up the hobby and play golf than continue doing parks. And we do have a coaster trip coming up. It's not like we're not giving up on everything. Going to Kings Island, which I haven't been. I haven't been there. Go ahead.
What's her coaster count?
What's hers? She's almost 300.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Yeah, she was at 200 in 2009. I remember her going on her 200th coaster, which was Superman at Six Flags New England was her 200th. So she's got a number under her belt. She's not in it. Yeah.
Pop Pulse agrees with you about the coaster routes. It can be similar in the UK as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we've kind of, I wouldn't say as bad as you, but I've kind of been through some of that stuff, and
Yeah.
people watch our channel notice we still go to theme parks, but we're branching out to do other attractions because of it. So I can understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't say it's as bad as what you've been through. I'm not trying to say that. But.
Right. No, it was pretty bad. It got to the point where I was getting phone calls from Hollywood, Holiday World at 2:00 in the morning on a Sunday, because you know that fake phone app that you can disguise your phone number and make it look like the call's coming from the White House. They were using that app. So like, I mean, I was getting bothered. Almost every extension at Six Flags Great America was used to call my phone. And then I'd call back and, the people would be like, I didn't call you. And I'm like, well, it says on my phone. Then I finally figured out about this app and I knew these phone numbers were all fake. Changed my phone number because of it. They would it got so bad that they were like having, disguising their number as like suicide prevention places and stuff like that. They would mess with me for 2 weeks solid, and we're talking a number of people every day, and then finally you snap and it's like, oh, there's Rocco having a meltdown again, and it's like, well, yeah, you've been nonstop for 2 weeks. I'm sick of it. So I mean, and while that's all happened, I've never really left social media. Like I hear other people, they get all upset they leave social media. It's like, really? It's like, I mean, I had it pretty bad and I still stuck it out. I mean, I've had a lot of pages taken down, like on Twitter. I had a 18,000 follower page and that was taken down. Yeah. And then, they call you. They give you insults that they don't even know you. It's like, I've never met this person and they're saying I'm a homophobe. And it's like, I did Rocky Horror for 10 years. Half my friends were gay. I don't see how I'm a homophobe just because they don't know me. And it's like, I'll send them a picture of me in like a corset and fishnets and be like, really? I'm a homophobe? This is getting pretty dark. We got kids watching this show. Let's talk about something positive.
I don't know if you want to cut to Rocky Horror Show now, and we'll come back to this.
We can. Yeah. Sure, we can segue. There's me as Rocky Horror.
Was this in like college or?
No, I was probably 30 at that time. I had done it between 1995 to 2005. After I did the Vegas conference, I pretty much retired after that because we had an all-star performance. I performed in that because I was the best Rocky in the United States at that point. And
how did you get into that? Like, how did that come about?
Well, here I don't know if they do it in England, but which would be surprising if you didn't, because it was filmed in London, I believe. And half the people are British in that movie. So they show Rocky Horror on the screen, and it became a midnight tradition. They show Rocky Horror on the screen, and then you have a cast that acts it out underneath the screen.
Oh, okay. So it's not actually
a theater. If you look in the back, you could see the legs of Rocky.
We have in this country, people will go and see screenings of it, and everyone in the audience will sing along.
Yeah, or they yell the line. There's a lot of breaks in the dialogue in the movie, a lot of long pauses, and people yell things during those pauses, and it's very different parts of the country will say different things in all these pauses, and it just became fun to just go to another state and see what they say. And if you go to a national convention, you've got everybody yelling different things at the same time. It's so funny. But yeah, that's what it's called shadow casting. We used to do that, and I don't know if you're aware of a movie called Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
No, I don't know if people in the audience are, but
okay. Yeah, it's a movie like Rocky Horror where there's a lot of song. Yeah, it's a musical, And we also did Clue. We used to do Clue.
Oh, I love Clue.
Yeah. So we would do all the different endings and everything.
I think Tim Curry was great in that as well.
Tim Curry was awesome in that. Maybe we only did Clue because Tim Curry was in it, because he is Dr. Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
If anyone watching hasn't seen the film Clue, go and watch it because it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's I don't know if you know, in this country, I don't know why they did it, but the actual board game is called Cluedo over here. It's not called Clue.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the same for the rest of Europe, but yeah, it's called Cluedo over here.
What's Monopoly called there?
It's the same.
Oh, it's still Monopoly?
Yeah.
Okay. We play a lot of Monopoly in this house.
Really? Does it end well?
It ends well. Well, see, a lot of people get upset with Monopoly because it lasts forever. A game can last until the next day. And that's because you're not playing by the rules. Like, there is no free parking rule, no 400 if you land on go. If you keep the money down, then the game doesn't last as long. But we play competitive. We write down who won each game. We'll play 4 or 5 games a night. And then
get through 4 or 5 games a night. Jeez.
Easy, because there's a rule called the Amy rule, which for my wife Amy, she'll buy one of every property and then get one Monopoly. Well, she wins the game automatically then, because the game's called Monopoly. If she refuses to sell any of the other, well, that prevents the other 2 people. And you only can play with 3 people. You can't play with more than 3 people.
What's that?
Why is that?
Is that your own rule? You can only play with 3 people.
Oh, because usually one person will have 1 space and another person will have 2 spaces. Very rarely do each of the 3 have 1 of each space. Once you knock out 1 person, you get all their, we have to buy them, but you get all their properties. Well, that person's going to win, because now they've got double the
spaces. Did you get to a point where you don't actually play the whole game out? You just stop and say, that's done now, you've won that one?
We've went through all the money to where there was no more money, which is really odd, because we play with 4 games worth of money. And the only other rule that the only other rule we changed was they don't give you enough properties to own something on every property. You could have enough hotels for like 3 of the sides.
Do you start with more money?
We start with the same amount of money, 1,500.
You should film one of these. This seems insane to me, and probably a lot of other, at least English people.
It's a good time. I mean, it's funny, just the way we treat each other while we're playing. So 3 people, so you knock one of them. Once one gets knocked out, then it's pretty much one person that has almost. How many people
do you play with?
3. I only play with my roommate and my wife. And then we crown a championship at the end of the year. You get a $500 bill saying the year on it.
Jeez.
And then we've also got, I guess it's on Amazon Prime. It shows the national, or I guess it's international Monopoly tournament. And they play with this thing called a speed dice, where it makes the game so much faster. And it has a bus on it, an Uncle Pennybags, and I believe a hotel. I haven't played it in so long. The bus has you go, not only do you skip all the blank spaces, you automatically go to the next property that's for sale when you roll a certain side of this dice. So you skip over paying rent at a lot of places to get to the next one that's for sale.
I have so many questions. Like, I'd love to see you like record one of these games you do and see how intense it is.
We may do that. Now that I see there's an interest for it, I'm not even sure if YouTube has like Monopoly. I've seen videos of the actual international competition, but I've never seen like people playing it at home. It's pretty much the only board game we play anymore, because they won't play Trivial Pursuit with me anymore.
Do you know all the answers?
Yes, because when I was younger, the very first Trivial Pursuit, I wanted my friend's Navy jacket, and he bet me that if I answered all the 1,000 science questions right in Trivial Pursuit. So for like 2 weeks, all I did was memorize
Do you,
the 1,000 science questions. I
do
did
you
not
collect
get the jacket. I
do
did
you
not
collect
get the jacket.
monopolies?
I collect Monopoly pieces. So I
Oh,
have like all the theme sets that come out. I save those, only metal pieces.
what? Throw the rest
So,
away?
well, only the basic set comes with those little plastic pieces. The rest are always themed. They have an IPO on everything so they can sell them for more money. I mean, I've got Looney Tunes, Disney, Star Wars, NASCAR,
So the
amusement
theme parks over
parks.
there,
Yeah, Cedaropoly, Kings Islandopoly, all those.
because
Um,
we
I
we
I personally play with my figure that I go to the most is Uncle Pennybags on a computer.
because we've got a theme park in this country called Alton Towers, and they haven't done it recently, but for a few years in the 2010s, they released a Monopoly, then they released another one, but the board was the color of the new ride that year, and then they did it again
Oh,
when the Wooden Coast was open. But they missed a trick because they didn't theme any of the pieces.
oh, they didn't?
And now you
Oh,
mentioned that, I remember saying at the time, why didn't they theme this? They literally just had their own board. I guess it was cheaper for them to just get
yeah,
Monopoly to put the same stuff in.
yeah. Usually, there's a coaster car, a carousel horse. Um, There'll be the Six Flags symbol. It'd be something like that. Uh, Nothing really amazing piece wise. Maybe only three of them would be cool out of the six. My favorite, we had I don't know if they didn't have Toys R Us in Britain, did they?
Yeah. Until a
Oh,
couple of years
okay.
ago when they shut down.
We,
Yeah.
yeah, well, here as well. Um, they had a deluxe set, and it was probably the mid 90s. And those pieces are our favorites just because it has like a Tonka truck, an easy bake oven, Lincoln Logs, Play-Doh, Legos, that pretty much every cool IPO. And then I play with out of that set I played Jeffrey the giraffe or
Do
Joffrey.
Is Toys R Us coming back over there? Because over here it is
Yeah.
coming back soon.
There's pop-ups that have been
Yeah,
happening.
that's what we're getting in other shops. Another shops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not yeah. I think Target had a pop-up for Toys R Us here, but yeah, no actual leap to bring it back. I
Did
love
you?
Toys R Us.
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of memories from my childhood, and then it just
Yeah.
seemed like. But they weren't competitive with their prices really towards the end. I can see why.
Not with online prices, no. And they were actually a lot cheaper than, say, there was a couple smaller toy stores that were like in malls,
Hmm.
so they were very small. And they actually, my middle Judge Dredd came from KB Toys. That's a statue, and at the time it was $500. I don't even know. It's numbered and authenticated on the bottom of the stand, but I have no idea what it would go for today. I still buy a lot of Legos today. I'm a big Lego guy. Obviously, you can see Connects and Lego in that picture.
How long did that
Um,
take? I mean, we've got a picture before the second bit was in there, and then we've got the bit.
um, yeah, and that's not even the whole thing there. That was just I got lazy and stopped taking pictures every time I added a ride. But it's packed with rides on top of each other. All of them run on batteries. And then there's two Lego trains that go around. Well, actually three.
There's more. I was going to say, yeah, there's quite a
It's
few.
two sets of tracks. I have two locomotives that with passenger vehicles that go through the park, and then on the outline of the park is a freight train and a bullet train, and they run on the same track at different corners of the table. The table took a while to build. I was gonna go like how people have the model train sets in their basement.
Hmm.
Well, the grass and the bushes and stuff are all like that powder stuff. You put a layer of glue down, and then there's like a green powder that you blow on it to make it look like grass. But I needed something that was going to be able to be dusted and cleaned because I'm a kind of a clean freak. Um, so I just sponge painted it to look like grass. and then sponge painted all the foundations. All the rides have their own foundations painted. That's what the gray is there. And then walkways that go to the ride. And then there's crossways for the train tracks. Footers for all the coasters. There's some of them at 50 footers on them. It took a while to do. Building it, I could build a set a day easy. So that wasn't the problem. Making the table was. I had help making the table by Bill Rogers from RMC. He helped me design the table, like what it should look like, how it should be built.
Do you still talk to anyone from RMC?
Not really anymore. My old partner does. He does, I guess, a lot of work for them, but I haven't talked to anybody in years. Bill doesn't work there anymore. Fred's no longer with the company. And I don't, yeah, I knew a lot of the workers when they were here working on Goliath. We had met all of them in Branson, and then they did some track work for Indiana Beach. And when Morgan RV owned Indiana Beach, they retracked the Cornball, the Hoosier, and the Lost Coaster. And they were probably there for 2 months. We found out they were there. Well, we filmed a lot at Indiana Beach. So we were going up there just to hang out with them for the weekend most of the time.
I was going to ask if you knew anyone from there, if you could find out if they're ever going to build an RMC in this country, but we're not going to have it for a long time.
Well, how close is Zadra and
Poland,
or what's the other one that's out there? Wildfire. That's in Poland, right? Okay.
Wildfire's Norway, I think. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, Zadra's in Poland.
Yeah. Well, see, now here's the thing. I like all the guys from RMC and everything, but I'm not a giant RMC fan, to tell you the truth. I like the traditional roller coasters. I mean, GCI, Gravity Group, like them. I like their coasters a lot. I mean, RMC is just the same elements, but then in different order on every ride. I mean, they occasionally do a new move, but they're kind of too smooth for it to be a wooden coaster. Like Goliath here, I don't consider Goliath. Guinness Book of World Records came up to me and asked me what I thought of Goliath. Is it a wood coaster? And I said no, it wasn't a wood coaster. But I guess they talked to Ian from the European Coaster Club. I don't know what his last name is.
I'm a member of VCC, and I can't remember a guy called Ian.
Is big guy.
I know Justin. He's a big guy. I know.
Justin. You know what? It might have been Justin at the time. And Justin told them it was a wood coaster because that's the only record that Six Flags Great America could get, because there's a height restriction at that park because of the airport, so they can't go higher than 310 feet, and they have nothing that's even close to that other than the observation tower that goes up. So it's hard for them to get. Yeah, it's hard for them to get a world's record wooden coaster when they can't go that high. So they dug down, I think, 50 feet. To add to the drop there. But the problem I have with Goliath being a wood coaster is that the rails are filled with grout so that it's quieter.
Yeah. You want the roar.
So it's the only wood coaster I know that has grout in the rails. And I do get that it's stacked on top of the layers of wood, and that's what makes it a wood coaster. But I just find it funny that
what about the airtime?
You take a round circle, you make it into a rectangle, and all of a sudden it's a wood coaster. So,
did you want to have a go at one of these quizzes I've got for you?
I'm always up for a quiz.
This isn't an original idea. I stole this off the radio, but because we're on a Thursday, it's almost the weekend. If anyone in the comments wants to put describe what they're doing this weekend in 5 words, I'll read them out throughout the rest of the show. 5-word weekend. But I'll flash it up on the screen. I've got a word that I think you invented, actually, and I've made I've made it up out of letters from various roller coasters in America, and you've just got to tell me what roller coasters I've taken the letters from the logos of. If you see what I mean.
Okay. Let's see this.
Thuzy.
So that's the Hulk.
Yeah, the H is the Hulk. Yeah, straight away.
Are these all American or
Yeah, they are.
these... Okay.
I made sure I didn't think you'd be able to get European.
Is that Orion next to Hulk?
No.
The O is from Lightning Rod.
Yeah, the second O is, yeah. And the T is a fairly new coaster, opened last month.
Pantheon?
No, but I think it's the same park.
Oh, Dark Coaster.
Yeah.
Okay. E is Gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the T, the I is.
I think it's the tallest roller coaster in the world, isn't it?
King Ka?
Yep.
Okay. What is the first O from?
One of the Busch Garden
Nitro.
parks.
That would be Griffin.
No.
Really?
You can see the tooth of an animal just at the top of it.
Would that be?
It's in Tampa. It's not in Williamsburg.
Montu. No, that doesn't have an animal. Cheetah Hunt? No, it doesn't have a O in it. Trying to go through my head of all the coasters that they have. I mean, it's not Iron Gwazi, is it?
Yeah, Iron Gwazi, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
And the S is from the same park.
Shikra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy.
I did okay.
It's easy.
I did okay.
You did really well, actually. Stacey's here.
Hello!
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
She made it. The nightmare commute.
Yes. Move over, Oogie Boogie.
But
Nice.
Good to see you all. Sorry to
you might
be
like
so
this.
late.
You might like this because you're here now.
Crazy.
I got another one. Now I don't know how clued up Rocco is on this, but because we had the photos of you from Rocky Horror Show, I did another one, but they're from musical logos.
Oh.
Okay. Well, the C is the Rocky Horror, obviously.
Yeah.
S is Grease.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Getting straight through it.
I know I. Am I allowed to contribute to this? Because
Oh, the I is-
all over
I is Wicked, obviously.
Yeah.
U. That's a tough one. Is the M Les Miserables?
No, but one of the others might be.
That would be the L.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
the A? Can I guess the A?
You can guess the A if you want. Yeah.
Is it cats?
It is Cats, yeah.
Yeah.
It is Cats. Yeah.
Just the M and
So
the U.
you-
So he's quick.
The U.
Usually I bring these up and people are like, oh, these are too difficult. Why have you done this? And you're just like, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I got them all except that first M and the U. I'm stumped on the U. I know you're gonna say it.
Yeah, Knox got it. The M is Phantom of the
Phantom
Opera.
Oh
of the
yeah,
Opera.
Phantom. Yeah. But, you know what? We
You
don't
is
have.
about I think it's technically a musical. It's it takes place in, is it Austria? And the woman saving kids from the Nazis. I think I butchered that story now.
Doe a deer.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what's it called?
Sound of Music.
Yeah,
That's Sound of Music.
Ah.
Sound of Music. There we go.
Oh yeah, now you got the examples. Nice.
Oh, I forgot to show the examples of that was the other one. I think Iron Gwazi was the only one that gave you trouble on that.
Yeah, the O. Well,
Hi,
and then
Jones.
you were giving me a lot of hints too. So
I know you got quite a few of them.
yeah, that Gatekeeper I got on my own.
I've got we can talk about anything else you want to talk about, Rocco, but I've got one more thing that I did before where I came up with some English phrases and you had to tell me what they were. But I'm just going to remind everyone
these are my favorite. Yeah.
the 5-word weekend. If anyone at home wants to put in 5 words what they're doing this weekend, because I've noticed some people have put what they're up to this weekend in the comments. Put it in 5 words and we'll new segment, see if it flies. But yeah, let's get to I don't know if I've used some of these before, so I apologize if I have. But where the local.
The local.
I like the way you're confused and you're British.
Well, no, like to me, it's
If you say you're going down the local,
The pub?
yeah, the pub, yeah.
Okay.
Is that an American thing as well?
We have bars. We have some pubs. There's an English style pub downtown, right near the Chicago Theater. We went there after a bird show. But there's not many pubs around. We have local bars.
Do you use the phrase "the local" though when you're talking about it?
No, we do not.
No. So over here it'd be like, I'm going down the local tonight, and people know it means the
And
pub.
everybody knows. Yeah.
See, that confuses me because maybe
Jumpers, pajamas.
Close enough. Sweater.
A sweater. Okay.
Dummy.
Also,
I just want to interject. Earlier we talked about Clue is called Cluedo in this country. Also, you have Where's Waldo. He's called Where's Wally in this country.
Oh, it's not even the same first name? That's
No,
odd.
I don't know if it's because Wally's a regular name in America, I think, isn't it? Or something. I don't know.
I thought Waldo was his cousin.
No, Waldo's what he's called in America.
Oh, I thought it was his cousin. That's what I
It's
thought.
called Wally in this country.
This is how confused I am.
Yeah, Waldo. Wally isn't really a popular name so much anymore. Like, I don't even know if Waldo is the same name as Wally. See, like a lot of people like to call me Rocky.
Yeah.
And that's not my name. It's Rocco. That's a completely different name than Rocco. That's like saying Rob with 2 B's is the same as Robert.
Do you know what a dummy is?
Is that a slider on the bottom of furniture?
No, it's
a pacifier.
Like what a baby has.
That is very.
It's called a dummy.
Yeah, I would not think that you would have the name dummy anywhere near a child.
It's dummy when you call each other dummy, isn't it?
Hole in the wall.
Dummy.
A hole in the wall.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that. I've never heard that term before.
It's like the local again. If you say I'm going to the hole in the wall, or is there a hole in the wall? It's an ATM machine.
Oh,
usually
okay.
outside ones, but yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. At least they make sense. Dosh.
Yeah.
Dosh. Is that a drive? Maybe take a drive? That would be dash. I'm stumped.
I don't know why, but Daniel in the chat says he loves the way that Americans say planes. I don't know why.
Planes.
Planes?
I don't know. The only thing I find a bit odd about Americans is, and I understand where they're coming from, when they say that sometimes like posher sounding British people draw out their A's, but then the way Americans say pasta, they draw out the A, and I find it weird. That's the only thing I find weird about it. But it's cash.
Pasta?
Pasta,
Did
yeah.
you say it's pasta?
It's pasta.
Pasta.
Yeah, it's pasta in this country.
We call it pasta.
We call it pasta. What do you say? You've got stuck now.
I usually
say pasta.
Pasta, yeah.
I usually say what type of pasta it is, whether it's
like penne.
rotini. Yeah, penne.
Yeah, I'll do it just pen.
Ankle biters. I don't know if you have this in the States.
Now that's a small child.
Yeah. Chinwag.
Chinwag is when you are pointing in somebody's face. Or no, chinwag. Is that arguing with somebody?
No, it's just when you have a chat.
Okay. Okay.
Skint.
Skint. Is that like a portion of time?
No, it means when you're broke. Or you don't have
Oh,
much money.
you're broke.
I'm skint.
Yeah, you got no money. I'm skint, mate.
Yeah, well, you got to think everything I know about uh, the English, the British version of the English language is from Doctor Who or Lily Allen.
Lily Allen, you're a big Lily Allen fan.
Yeah, I actually am a big Lily Allen fan. In my I have a drone shot of Steel Vengeance, and in the background is playing a Lily Allen song. And occasionally people do comment on the video, "Oh my God, Lily Allen!" But I have almost every episode or every album plus like the singles she came out with.
Minted.
Minted would be well here mint means something that's in great condition. So
Oh.
minted. Is it close?
Yeah, it means when you've got a lot of money, you're minted.
Oh, well, like the mint. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think that's where it came from, though. Is that if you get a lot of money from selling something that's mint condition, you'd be minted.
Oh, Lily Allen married the Stranger Things bloke. If Travel with Jones could tell me which one, there's a lot of blokes in that show.
Yeah, which character?
From where?
Stranger Things. Apparently, Lily Allen married one of the actors in it. I assume.
Oh, I have no idea.
No,
I've only watched the first 3 episodes of the first season of Stranger
Things. The first
Things.
series isn't very good, I don't think.
Yeah, I quite like the video by Lily Allen.
Butty.
Butty? Is that somebody that's rude?
I feel like you're getting an education tonight on English words. It's sandwich.
A sandwich?
It's got butter in it. People call it a butty. So they're like the weekend in the morning if you want to, I don't know if you have bacon sandwiches over there.
They say like chip butty, don't they?
They'll say bacon butty or chip butty, which is French fries. People have that in
like
the sandwich
fry
as well.
butty. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I would have never got candy floss. It's cotton candy.
Yeah, I didn't know if you called it candy floss over there.
We used to call it back in the day fairy floss, but that's not too PC, I guess, nowadays.
I've not got it here, but
no, I think it got mistaken for something else.
I think it's only
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But do you call spaghetti angel hair as well?
Well, there's an angel hair pasta, and then
okay, is that different?
Yeah, angel hair is like half the diameter of a spaghetti.
Yeah.
Of a piece of spaghetti.
Bread cake.
Bread cake.
Oh,
is that like fruit cake?
Guys, that's gonna wind me up because you say bread roll.
Yeah, it's a bread roll, but in this country, it depends how far north you go. Some people call it a cob, and then there's bread cake, and then there's balm.
Yeah, I call it bread cake. White calls it bread roll.
What's this bread roll?
Oh, you do call it roll. Oh, even
I call it a bread roll, but the more north you get, there are different words for it.
So my mum would be like, bread cake. Have a bread cake.
Because I thought she was talking about cake the first time she said that to me, and I thought I'm going to get some cake, and then it wasn't.
It's funny because you guys live in a technically smaller country than the United States.
Oh, a lot smaller, yeah.
And your verbiage changes that much between that distance. Like from New York to California, that's like a 50-hour drive. So I mean, that's pretty far. It's a few thousand miles.
Yeah.
And we don't have as different meanings of stuff as you guys do.
Oh yeah, we have different meanings to the point where you can have a conversation if you're from the south with someone from the north, and there'll be a lot of stuff you don't understand.
Really?
Yeah, it's like if you say in the States, I think you say this as well. If you say, "Oh, I'm doing this 7 till 8," I'm not going to say who, but I know someone who said 7 while 8, and I was like,
in other
words,
it's probably my mother and my mum, which is Mike's mother-in-law.
I don't want to mention that.
Because my mum,
that's just
I'm
an
not
example.
being funny though, but my mum just sometimes have her own dictionary. So
I know she talks like people from that area.
I'm happy to say that on here. So hi, mum. Love me, please.
But I'm just trying to make an example to Rocco. There's a lot of I can talk to someone from up north, and they might not understand something I say, and vice versa. And it's a small country, and he's saying from New York to California, which is massive, and they're not that different.
I think my mum sometimes she merges 2 words together. So if you're going out, going at, so it's like going at. So she kind of merges the words together, but it's her accent that kind of changes it to a different word altogether.
Well, I was going to say we have accents, but we don't use actual different words. It'd be the same word, but with just different accents.
Oh,
Yeah.
tea or dinner, yeah. Yeah, the third meal of the day, some places call it tea and some places call it dinner, and that gets arguments as well.
What gets served with tea?
In what sense?
Is it a dinner? Like a dinner is a meal.
Yeah, some people,
Or is it a cup of tea?
That's what I mean.
Mm.
Some people call the last meal of the day tea, which is the same word as the drink tea, but they're talking about a meal.
Oh, see, I would be confused living over there.
Yeah, exactly.
And the travel with the Jones is put out, you mean, from what I was
Oh,
referring
out.
earlier.
Yeah, if you're
And-
going out,
oh.
but if you're going out somewhere smart, you say you're going out as well.
I'd just go out and have a boogie.
Know what plonk means?
Plunk. Well, my
or
obvious would be get hit in the head.
Like you'd say a bottle of plonk.
A bottle of plunk?
Yeah.
Would that be wine? No.
Yes.
Oh, look at me.
Serviette. I think you use that word anyway in the States.
Serviette? We
Yes.
don't use that word.
Oh, really?
It might be giving me
No.
the other word, because that's what I use. The other word. I don't use serviette.
Well, I was trying to find words that you might not know. So it'd be
Waitress?
no napkin.
Oh, okay. Serviette?
Yeah.
You actually use that word?
We use the word napkin as well, but a lot of places use
Oh,
serviette.
okay.
You do realize on our blogs now, if we find food, I'll be like, I'm going to go get a serviette.
Yeah. See, didn't you?
I'm not fancy enough to be British. I'm
Oh,
too
Not either.
Well, we're not as fancy as you think we are.
Serviette?
Yeah.
It sounds French.
I said it was French.
Well, it's an English word. Oh, it's might be a French word as
But
well.
then again,
it's-
we are a mad mixture, aren't we? English, like we're a mixture of like Latin and French and everything. So
Well, you guys have open borders over there, right? Where you guys can go to France,
we
you
did.
can go to
We've got open borders with Wales and Scotland, which are the only countries we're connected to. But we used to have a thing before. I don't know if Americans know about Brexit.
Yeah, we know about Brexit.
Before Brexit, we could freely travel. Like
Everywhere.
European countries you could go and live in France if you wanted to live in Germany. But since Brexit, it's like can't do that no more. Now we're cut off from Europe.
Well, I mean, you can go there, you just have to
Yeah, but there's a lot
here.
more. Like there's a lot of even with
Paperwork.
Yeah.
oh, travel with the Joneses, Welsh, Boda. Good day. That's the only thing I actually remember in Welsh.
Yeah,
when we
Travel
went
with the
to Carnarvon.
Joneses live in Wrexham. I don't know if you've seen the Ryan Reynolds series where he bought Wrexham
Yes.
Club.
Yes. That's where they live? Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
Travel
that.
with the Joneses, yeah. But have you got anything you want to say? Because you joined late.
No, just thank you all for coming, even though I'm not here.
You are here.
So I'm
Hey,
here now.
hologram.
Hello. I'm just a ghost. Woo. But no, it's been lovely to come back on towards the end. So there is a photo. Oh gosh, sorry, I've gone blank because something just popped on my phone. There is the photo challenge as
For
well
June.
for June. June is animal. It can be one animal, it can be several animals, but it's just animal. So if you want to tag us in there and put animal on and then go from there, really. I'm hoping to post mine up soon because obviously the animal that we have is bonkers. So I think you kind of know what pet we've got. So yeah, that's about it really. So thank you all for coming on, and hello to everyone that said hello to me in the chat as well. I've just seen you all flick up. So
And hit all the links that are in the description as well.
yeah, give us a like.
Is there anything
know,
else
you
you'd
want
like
to-
to say, Rocco, before we wrap things up?
I'm just glad you guys had me on again. I always enjoy.
Well, let's have you on again in the future because we talked about things I didn't expect to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
missed out on the Monopoly.
Well, I'm gonna have to replay.
You're gonna have
it,
to
aren't
film
I?
yourself playing Monopoly as well. That's insane.
Yeah, I probably will do that now. See what my wife says. It'll probably be an overhead shot so you can see everything that's going on with the table too. Or maybe multi-camera.
Games
Yeah.
a night. You get through it quick.
You get through Monopoly quick.
There's 3 of them playing it. They play 5 games a night. And
Because
at
a
the
lot
end
of
of the
people
year,
make
they
different
play
rules.
Well,
A lot of people make different rules. Like here there's options that, like, when you land on Go, if you actually land on the space Go, you get $400. If you go past Go, you only get $200.
Oh, we just have
There,
200 in this country.
and then if you land on, you know how when you pay all your fines and everything, it goes. A lot of people put it in the parking, and then whoever lands on parking gets all that money.
Yeah.
So we don't play with a lot of those rules. So we play with the actual listed. If you play with the actual listed rules with the amount of money and everything, the games go pretty quick. Plus, we know what we're doing, so yeah, it's like a lot. We don't like to trade. We try and get a monopoly to ourselves. And like I said, Amy came up with the rule that if you have a monopoly and you prevent everybody else from getting a monopoly by having one of every monopoly, then you automatically win because the game is called Monopoly.
Oh, okay.
She's the only one that's allowed to win because she has, even if it's just the two cheapest spaces on the board.
Unless someone buys one each of them as well.
If we see what happens if I buy one and she buys one and then our roommate buys one and there's the 3 tickets, that's a dead space. No one's going to sell to anybody. Might as well just mortgage and take the money and use it towards building something because that space will never be used. Another thing we do is we don't play with singles with the dollars. We only round up or down. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to make the game go faster. Now we have that speed die, and that revolutionized the game.
I want to see that in action.
Rocco's Monopoly Revelations.
Watch. There's a Monopolies. I believe it's either on Amazon Prime or Netflix, and it's about the competition, and it follows a couple people, and it's very interesting. I wasn't even into Monopoly as much as these people were, but it really got me excited to play. And I even ordered one of those dice that they use in competition just to try it out. So I'm a big dork. Board games, roller coasters, toys.
And board games.
I've got to
and toys and roller coasters.
I kept promising. He wants a photo of us wearing this on the mug, but we got a mug and a hat from Hush Hush. He sent that a while ago.
Oh, nice.
You
can do, but we'll send him a photo.
On,
but next week we've got
look how big that.
Next week we've got Joe from Theme Park Insanity and Coasting with the Joneses are coming on, and we're going to actually talk about what's happened this month in the theme parks because it's a bit different for episode 60, and we're also going to do some beer reviews.
Nice.
Okay.
So that should be cool. But yeah. Oh, it is on Prime. We'll watch it on Prime. Yeah, we'll check that out.
Cool.
But yeah, just I've appreciated having you on. I mean,
awesome.
We could go longer, but I like to leave people wanting more than
And I've got more. So yeah, get me on next time, and I'll have some more stories that I'll remember.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I would ask you what the catchphrase is, but well, you can say the catchphrase if you want. We've got someone to play us out with it on a video, but I don't know if Rocco knows our catchphrase.
I got home as quick as I could.
You know what? I was gonna watch an episode and write it down and memorize it, but then I just got too busy around it. We're having a party in like a couple of weeks, so I'm trying to get like my 5-word for the weekend would be I'm doing yard work. Well, that would be
I'm doing yard work soon.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing all weekend. Wow. So my life is not parks every day like it used to be, as much as I would like for it to be. But I'm a grown up and I have these responsibilities and yeah. We're
taking another tone again.
Yeah, there goes that dark tone.
You've got at least you've got the day ahead of you. It's almost the end of the day here.
Yeah, no, I'm working tonight at 11, but so I'll be going to bed about 4. This our time, which I don't even know what time it is right now. What time is it there?
Well, it'll be about 2 p.m. It's 8:10 here.
Yeah, at night.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be probably about 2:20. Yeah, 2:10. So there you go. Yeah, I have a little bit more lawn work to do. I wanted to have a little fire and relax before I went to bed. The wife's home today, so I get to spend time with her. She also works nights, so in the hotel industry. So at least we get to spend time together. I've gone 25 years with barely seeing my wife during the week because I worked from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then she would work 11 to 7. So rarely saw my wife during the day. Maybe that's why our marriage has lasted this long, but yeah, now we're on the same schedule, so we're able to go to breakfast together and wake up together and do stuff around the house together. So
Oh,
happy days. So we're having a party, our first party we've had. We've been in the house for 10 years, but I've been so obsessive compulsive about the grass in the backyard that I really wanted it to look nice before I started inviting people over, and we've had projects around the house. So 10 years in, we're having our housewarming party.
yay!
So yeah.
You can
So
stream
we're
it. You
doing
can join
that.
on the screen.
I know, you should put us on the Zoom call. We'll join in.
Oh, so you could be with, so you could be there. We'll get you one of those robots on the wheels so you can walk around
Yeah,
with
like
the
Sean and Cooper.
yeah, with the tablet on it. That's funny.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been lovely. So thank you.
And we'll
for
see
Yes.
everyone
coming
next
on.
week for episode 60.
And we'll be yeah.
Gosh, episode 60.
But
Oh,
just a
that's
message.
amazing.
I got someone to say the catchphrase. Well, he
Oh,
offered
let's
to,
see.
I didn't ask him to, so we will play that out.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the rear view because for now, we gone.